Hi, welcome to the Best of Chess. I'm FIDE Master Novak Pezelj, and today we will check pawn endings. This is our first session of 10, in which I choose to show variety of position king and pawn versus king. To understand our approach well, we will speak of all important things, no matter how logical and in some cases easy look like they are. Theoretically, king and pawn versus king can be only won if pawn is safety led to promotion. That could be accomplished in either of two ways. First one is we calculate that opponent king cannot capture our pawn and we just push our pawn till promotion. Second is when opponent king is standing in the way of our pawn and then we need king's help to secure our pawn until he reach last row. In that situation, and this is important, is needed that king stands in front of the pawn. Of course, we have exceptions here. If it is a side pawn, position is draw no matter how good position of our king is, in case that opponent king captured promotion square. Now let's try to calculate is there chance for black to capture white pawn. We can see that pawn have 5 moves left to promotion. I will mark that with green arrows. And black have also 5 moves left to secure promotion square. I will mark those with yellow arrows. That basically means if white is on the move, he will reach promotion with no interference of black king, but if black is on the move, he will reach exit square just in time to stop promotion. Let's see how it ends if white is on the move. Start pushing his pawn. King is approaching. Pawn, king, c5, g6, king d6, g7, king s7, and g8, queen, promotion. But if black is on the move, position is draw. There is also one useful tip. If we can just imagine a large square, which one side is from pawn to promotion square, and if black king manage to get into that imaginary square, he will be able to stop promotion. Here I will show you how it ends. g5, again king is in the square, g6, again king is in the square, g7, and now he captured the pawn. Now we will see how white king can secure pawn promotion. In our case, white is on the move, and there is really just one way to play this position right. White enters opposition. This opposition means that kings are facing each other with just one row between, and black, who is on the move, need to stand back or stand aside. In either way, it will allow advancing of white king. I will show you now two possible ways for black to defend. In first one, he will go back. First, stand on 6th row for a while. After advancing of white king, he is forced to play on 7th row. Again, we have opposition here, and black must decide where to go. Aside, white is advancing, and finally black is on the last row. And here we have final opposition. In this situation, white will allow himself to play a couple of moves with his pawn. Black goes aside, Pawn is moving again, and black is forced to stand aside from exit square. White captured it with his king and secured pawn promotion. Let's go back again on the start position. In other case, when black tried to get straight to the pawn, we just need to carefully bring pawn near our king. Let's see. Here we must defend our pawn with e4, and after king goes back on d6, we go king f6. This is what we call side opposition. In this case of opposition, kings are facing, having just one line between, and that way line is protected and cannot be invaded by any of kings. Black king is forced to go back, and that way still protect exit square of the pawn. White is pushing pawn, and after king e8 we have opposition for white. And again black is forced to move aside, and we have, like previous situation, secure path for a pawn. Okay, now we went through basics and we can start explaining particular situations. Here is one easy task for white. The only way he can assure win in this position is to come in front of the pawn with his king. So the right way to do it is just approaching first with king f2, and on king g6, king e3, and on king f5, king d4, and white assure position of king in front of the pawn. From this position and on we know how to win, creating an opposition and advancing with our king. Again, similar situation with same idea. Let's just check if we try to push our pawn. We can see that pawn, as any pawn from start position, have left 5 moves to promotion, and black king has only 4 moves to secure that promotion and to prevent it. So we cannot win this game just pushing our pawn. Another option for us is to come with our king in front of the pawn. We will use opposition to reach our goal, which is to protect our pawn and secure promotion. That also means that we will not go straight to our pawn. We must carefully track what our opponent is doing. Let's check some possibilities. If black kings go to c6, right move would be king c4 instead of king c3, and here again we have opposition. But if we are unsure if king c3 can also lead us to win, quick look will explain how black can defend his position. After king c5, black now holds opposition, and continue with king d3. Answer is king d5, king e3, king e5, king f3, king f5, and on king g3, king g5. Fourth row is now protected, and white cannot pass it with his king alone, and therefore he loses his chance for win in this position. So king c4 is here right move to go for. Now white have a position, forcing black to move back or aside. King d6, king d4, again black goes back on e7, king e5. Now here again tracking opposition king f7, king f5, king g8 and king g6. Here we have winning position for white. We have our next position. If we calculate it accurately, white cannot promote the pawn by just pushing it, cause black will be on b7 in just 4 moves and will prevent it. Only way to succeed that will be with king assistance. Right move for white is king f5. We have opposition here and black can go only with one line here. King e3, trying to reach the white pawn first. Answer of white would be king e5. Again we have opposition. King d3, king d5, king c3, king c5, and after king b2, a4, and position is win for white. Black king is left behind. Earlier we noticed that some rules we use are not working with side pawns. In this example we can see white have chance to win, but how it can be done? At same time king needs to secure promotion square and pawn needs to be non-reachable for black king. And one more thing, and this is important, white king must not stand in the pawn line. So right move here would be king b7, and now pawn can securely go to promotion. Any other move beside king b7 would lead to draw. For example, we can check king a7 here, and no matter for which solutions black choose to go for, king c7 or king c8 will give him draw position, and he will just repeat playing king c7, king c8. Let's see where that leads us. Logical would be for white to keep pushing his pawn now, and after a4, king c8, a5, king c7, a6, king c8, king a8 would lead us to stalemate, and king b6 would let black to capture promotion square. Here we have another specific situation. Black tries to defend staying in corner using stalemate as additional motive for draw. If white decides to go with g6, calculating that on king g8 can play g7 and forcing black to stand aside, he would catch a cold shower after next black's move. King h8, and now we have a situation in which if white tries to go with g7, black just go to g8, and after king g6 its stalemate position is draw. And unfortunately white cannot either go with king f7, it's again stalemate and it's draw. So right way to play this position would be king f7, forcing black to go with his king into a corner, and after that king g6. White is changing position of king. From f line he goes to h line, and there how he will avoid stalemate traps that black prepare for him. Here we continue with king g8, king h6, king h8, and now just pushing white pawn, g6, king g8, g7, and after king f7, king h7, and promotion is secured. And only that how is white going to win this position. In our next example, we will check is it possible to win some position in which white king is not protecting promotion square for the pawn. The only helpful thing for us that we previously got familiar with opposition. It will be of great use for us here. King f5. We have a position here and black really have two possibilities to go for. King f8 and king e8. We'll check king f8 first. After king f6, again we reach an opposition and forcing black to go to e8. Again we have king e6 opposition, and after king d8, d7 with forcing black to go aside, and after king c7, king e7, and position is won for white. In our next example, we have mix of oppositions. After logical king d5, black will answer with king d7. And here he caught white into an opposition. Now white needs to avoid opposition, and he can manage that by playing king c5. Because c7 is already taken with pawn on b6, and black cannot find a good move to stay in opposition. What follows is king d8, king d6, and now white has an opposition. King c8, king c6, king b8, b7, and position is easy one for white. For our final example today, I left one that stays between this and our next session. In this case, white have two pawns on board, but cannot really keep them if he wants to win. White will use his king, playing king f4, and at that time black really have no other options than to play just simple king g7 and king h8. Unfortunately, in few moves we will find out that white king cannot come so much near. After king f5, king h8, we can see that all of mark squares are unavailable for white king, because that would lead us to draw as stalemate. So the only way for white in this position to win this position would be to sacrifice one of his pawns. After king g5 and king g7, right and the only way to play this position would be h8 queen, and after taking that queen, king h8, white could play king h6, and after king g8, g7, and after king f7, position is easily won for white. This was first of 10 lessons which will complete our insight in pawn endings. For the best of chess, I'm FIDE Master Novak Pezelj, and until next time I wish you many good games.